Stolen Focus by Johann Hari. Is attention failure only a roadkill on the highway towards economic growth? In an attempt to regain his own ability to focus, Johann Hari, the author of the book, sets out on a quest to understand the current attention crisis that we're facing and its causes. And by interviewing researchers all around the world, he starts to understand that there's more to the story than just distracting technology and notifications running amok. Hi and welcome to the Booklab. I'm Björn and this is the place where we bring you the best book recommendations when it comes to philosophy, psychology, human nature and human potential. And today we're talking about Stolen Focus, why you can't pay attention. And in this review I'm going to share some of my key takeaways from this book and reasons why you should pick this one up. The attack on our attention can't be blamed on tech alone. Ever since the 1880s, things have been speeding up, and the author traces it back to the idea of economic growth. Capitalism thrives on sleep deprivation. In fact, we sleep about 20% less than we did 100 years ago. And this is wonderful news for the economy, because when you sleep, you can't consume or produce. But it's a disaster for our ability to focus, because being well rested is one of the key components to be able to focus 100% and pay attention. The invention of the infinite scroll, you can scroll and scroll and content never ends. You see this on Instagram and on Facebook. This invention, it increased the time we spent on social media by 50%. Back in the day, pages were split into different pages, and each time you reached the end of a page you got a moment where you had to make a decision if you wanted to keep consuming the content or not. That moment of decision is now gone. Quote, "Imagine I could predict all your actions in chess before you made them. It would be trivial for me to dominate you." End quote. This is what most algorithms are designed to do, and they get better and better and better at doing it. You might think that algorithms, they won't be able to manipulate me, but if you ever seen a magic show, magicians are proof that you can think that you act on your own will, but you're actually being manipulated. AI doesn't have to become conscious before it annihilates humanity. In Stolen Focus we get two great examples of how algorithms lead billions of people down a path of hateful and extremist views. And this is thanks to our human shortcomings, our cognitive biases, especially the negativity bias. The negativity bias is the notion that even if of equal intensity, things that are of a negative nature has a stronger psychological effect on us than positive things. This means that internet users collectively spend much more time and attention on things that are of a negative nature. We click more, we view more, and this leads us to hateful and polarizing and extremist content. Facebook was accused of promoting extremist content, and they put together a team of insiders, two teams actually, to see if that was the case. When the teams got back with their data, they could confirm that yes, this was the case, and they were also providing solutions for how to improve the situation. But Facebook decided to do nothing. A site monitoring YouTube trends says that the words you should use if you want your videos to have high performance is bad, attack, and blame. The formula becomes the more anger, the more likes. The insane fact about YouTube is that even if you start by looking at reasonable content, the recommendations will lead you down more and more extreme paths. Quote, "No matter where you start, you end up crazier." End quote. There was no evil genius that designed things to be this way. It's just a combination of the financial incentives on the internet, the click economy, in combination with some outdated evolutionary quirks of the human brain that made it end up this way. If you are disturbed while you're in deep focus, it takes about 23 minutes to get back to the same level of attention. And in fact, in the US, most office workers report that they don't even get 1 hour of undisturbed time during a workday. In this book, I learned that while I can do a lot of things on an individual level to improve my attention, I still shouldn't blame myself if I fail from time to time. There are huge forces of distraction in our environment and in society these days. Open offices, expectations of always being online. There's a lot of forces working against us, and blaming ourselves for failing to focus just adds more stress and further diminish our attention. So be kind to yourself. This book is essential if you want to understand the current attention crisis, and it's about more than the urge to sneak away during a family dinner to check your phone. There's a lot of factors at play, and I couldn't cover them all in this review, but it also talks about nutrition, pollution, time for flow and play, a lot of different factors that all add up to what we see today in terms of a world of distractions. And you need to know about these things and understand them in order to be able to create an environment for yourself where you can safeguard your attention and your focus. And this book is a great starting point for them. I truly recommend this book, Stolen Focus by Johann Hari. And if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe. I'm going to end this video by sharing some of the upcoming reviews and further reading. If you really like this book, then the ones I'm going to be talking about is right up your alley. But first, click the like button, subscribe, all of that, and I have useful links in the description below. Another book I want to recommend on the topic of focus is, and this is a 5 out of 5 book. This is one of my favorite books of all time. It's a great complement to Stolen Focus. It's a bit older, and it's The Shallows, What the Internet is Doing to Our Brain. It talks about how the internet is changing the way we experience content and the way our brains work, how the medium is the message. This is a really classic book, and I put links to the reviews in the description. I have a review for this one. Another one I truly recommend, also by Johann Hari, is Lost Connections, Why You're Depressed and How to Find Hope. So check out that review. I really found this super interesting. I can't decide which one I like more, but I really like this one, and I really like this one. So if you read one of them and enjoyed it, check out the other one. It's super interesting. It really puts a finger on things that are going on in our society. I'm back next week with more book reviews, and until then, have a good one and see you next week. Björn out.